Let's do your predictions sign by sign, and I won't be cutting into each sign, but I'll just start and just go. So for Aries, you have Jupiter in the first house, and it will give you lots of self-confidence to move forward with your goals. You will have a sense of purpose or kind of a higher ideal to move forward to, a higher ideal in life, or feel that you are searching for that ideal or reaching it. The triple conjunction will happen in your second house of values, finances, self-esteem, and so this will be redefined for you in the next months, where you might be at a different place in these areas than you are today, with a completely different new perspective since from resources, finances, investments, what you give value to, your sense of self-worth, self-esteem, because all of this will shake up. Mercury will move into Virgo on the 4th of August to the 6th house of mental health, routines, pets, employment, exercise, organization, paperwork, systems, and productivity. Venus will move into Leo on the 11th of August into your 5th house of romance, hobbies, holidays, children, playfulness, enjoyment, self-expression, and Venus is an attractor, so you might be able to attract wonderful things for you. Also, Venus loves the 5th house. With full moon in the 11th, it will happen in Aquarius, in the area of friendships, communities. And you might kind of see a serious group of people coming towards you and to connect with them more from a line presence, technology, from a more Uranian perspective. On the 20th, we'll have Mars entering Gemini in the 3rd house, where it talks about siblings, selling, communication, contracts, decision, making decisions of buying a car or buying a house, or short distance travel, information, giving and receiving information, learning something new. It talks about your neighbors, about communication, about having an assertive communication. And on the 22nd, the Sun will go into Virgo. So you might find yourself having a desire to get organized, to clean your home, because 6th house, the tendency for perfectionism, criticism on the shadow side of healing and serving others. On the 24th, Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. So it's the time to review, rethink, and reflect. And it will go on at 18 degrees, so it will kind of be bringing the energies of this conjunction of the North Node, Mars, and Uranus together, teams into your life. You have to ask yourself, where am I limiting my freedom? Where am I holding myself back? Where do I need to innovate and change? Taurus rising. So the conjunction, the triple conjunction happens on the 1st house for you. And so the physical body, the sense of I, your perspective of life might be profoundly altered in the next few months. You might decide to have a completely different path in your life, or do a complete life change, alteration to your body all of a sudden, or even to your appearance. You might decide to suddenly leave a city for the rural areas, or even after a conflict in your relationship. You might have certain conflict that might make you want to move from where you are to another place that you never thought about. You might want to start a life-changing adventure, or exploring something completely new, and a new venue of your life. Jupiter is in your 12th house, so you might feel like exploring more your subconscious, the hidden things in your life about yourself, to understand yourself from a spiritual point of view, that can lead you to deepen your connection to the universe and apply the laws of attraction, trust the divine order, and feel somewhat more intuitive in the actions that you take. Mercury will move to Virgo on your 5th house on the 4th of August, so you might feel more inclined to organize your hobbies, activities, find healing in taking a break, connection to your children, deeper connection to your children or your inner child, but also doing it so in a more analytical way. You might be attracted to chess, to reading books, to drawing, to do more artistic expressions that are more minute, puzzles, or things that stimulate your intellect, or that can make you reflect, communicate, analyze things. You might feel the need to engage with children in a more intellectual, stimulating way, whether they are your children or whether they are children that you surround yourself with. And be attracted to people who are also intellectually stimulating, so you might feel sexual attraction to people who are intellectually stimulating. Venus will go into Leo on the 11th of August in your 4th house, so you might have feelings of decorating your home or making it more appealing for people who come and visit you, or for you to live, or for your family to live. You might go into a decoration spree or into complete change of furniture, or want to remake completely your wardrobe, but also to do more social activities with your family, and feeling that your family sees you, that your family values you, that your family somewhat sees you as an important person. And even perhaps explore artistic events like going to the theater together or the movies together. A full moon will happen on the 11th of August in your 10th house of Aquarius, which might bring intensity to your career, social status, where you might feel a sense of seriousness as Saturn is squaring Uranus, Mars, and North Node conjunction in there. This might also indicate that you might have unexpected surprises and events occurring in your career that you never saw coming. There might be a sense of feeling needy on some level, wanting attention or nurture, but that you somehow cannot access, or feel that those needs can be met from either career or parents. On the 20th, Mars enters Gemini in your 2nd house. This will be great to increase your network in terms of finances, to sell, to commercialize a product, to do marketing into your network in order to increase your financial gains. Also to learn and investigate more about ways to increase your portfolio, do mini courses on the subject. You have Palisatina there, which will give you stamina to research. Gemini, an air sign in the house of finances, might also be indicative to explore or get more information on cryptocurrency and learn all its aspects. Sun will enter Virgo on the 22nd in your 5th house, so this is a great opportunity to organize your life in terms of day-to-day, your routines, health, fitness, pets, home, cleaning, etc. Uranus will go retrograde in Taurus on the 18th degree on the 24th of August, so this might make you rethink about many of the recent events happening in your life that might be shaking your foundation or what you thought safe, secure, and stable. And maybe some impotence that might be that these changes might be completely out of your control. Gemini rising. The triple conjunction will happen on your 12th house, and it may launch you on an inner spiritual journey where you question what has value for you, as you might be feeling a bit more detached from the material and more connected to the spiritual, feeling that life has a deeper significance than what goes beyond appearances and material gains. You might feel that internally there are many changes and transformations that might surprise you and shock you, and others. After all, the 12th house is the house of undoing, is where we are ready to shed our past selves to be born into a more divine, expanded self that we are, but is also the house of what is hidden in our subconscious. So you might be taking shamanic journeys, exploring lucid dreaming, or experimenting with alternative ways to access it. As Uranus will later go into retro motion on the 24th, this will be a long period of introspection and self-analysis. On the 4th of August, Mercury moves into Virgo on your 4th house, and this is your ruler, and you might feel more like connecting to your family on an intellectual level, having interesting discussions, but also analyzing your foundations to understand better the environment you grew up in and your origins. On the 11th of August, Venus moves into Leo on your 3rd house, so you might feel like a need to shine, of doing some artistic event in your local community or with your siblings. Organize a social event, a theater performance, or simply stand out in your communication, information, and self-expression. You might also feel like taking a holiday somewhere local. The full moon will take place on your 9th house, so if you are studying in university or high studies, you might feel that this day is intense somehow for you, and also somewhat serious. You might feel like perhaps it's time to invest in higher education and taking it seriously, or with traveling abroad, but you might be frustrated by some unpredictable obstacles. You might find yourself stranded or in delayed flights, or have sudden changes that leave you feeling wanting a nurturing presence, but somewhat not having access to it. And on the 20th, Mars enters your 1st house. You might feel like exercising, but also that you are ready to take on the world, that you have stamina, courage, and a sense of direction, and that nothing can stop you. Just be really careful with impulsivity in your communication and words. On the 22nd of August, Sun enters Virgo and goes into your 4th house. You might feel a desire to put your home in order, spring clean, make it productive, friendly, paying more attention to your family, habits, health, cleaning routines, pets, and even serve family members. Cancer rising. The triple conjunction is happening in your 11th house of networks, communities, friendships, hope, and wishes. So this will be a very unpredictable area for you, as many things can happen all of a sudden, from sudden changes of friendship, getting them or losing them, or disturbances in a community you belong to that can go from conflicts to a new member joining that a new member that is a little bit out of the ordinary, to maybe introducing new technologies in your groups and associations, perhaps a new social media feature, or planning for a project that you think important to engage in with your group that might have some impact. For example, a community to plant food, or work on a common garden to prepare for food shortages, or help those in need who can't cope with the increasing costs from the inflation. On the 4th of August, Mercury will go into your 3rd house of communication, siblings, and local travel, and this will happen in Virgo. You might feel like communicating information that is well analyzed, perhaps creating small networks in your local community, volunteering or selling services connected to health, healing, organization, routines, cleaning, or pet services to your neighbors or siblings. Come up with many similar ideas that will make you active in your local community. On the 11th of August, Venus moves to Leo on your 2nd house, which might make you reflect on ways to increase and attract more abundance in your life, and a feel of somehow a boost in your self-worth and self-esteem, becoming more self-expressive through your possessions, but also in the way you treat yourself and your well-being. You might feel like giving a revamp on your wardrobe, eating quality food that also enhances your beauty and glow. On the 11th, full moon will be in your 8th house, giving you a sense of an intense, deeper psychological perspective of your own shadow and those of others. You might want to be facing this shadow more in depth, with a certain seriousness and looking inside to find where your needs for nurture are coming from and why these have not been satisfied. On the 20th, Mars enters Gemini in your 12th house, and you might feel like you are taking more to your, like you might feel like you're talking more to yourself or to God somehow, trying to reach a deeper level of understanding of your deepest side in life, your subconscious. On the 22nd of August, Sun enters Virgo in your 3rd house, which might make you want to help more your local community. You might want to be disseminating more information or teaching something or learning new skills or teaching new skills or even debate and discuss current issues. Leo rising. We still are in Leo season. For Leos, the triple conjunction happens on the 10th house of career. So we may see sudden changes and transformations happening in this area that might come suddenly and unexpectedly and completely change the course that you thought you were following into something completely new, to a new path in your career. And this might also bring some technological innovations that might have similar effect and bring your career into a more futuristic, attuned perspective. On the 4th of August, Mercury will enter Virgo on your 2nd house of values, finances, and well-being. Make you want to reanalyze all of those areas, making sure they align with your routines, health, and even to volunteering or service work you do. Perhaps making sure that your job is paying you enough or according to your sense of value and worth, or redefining how much health and day-to-day life balance matters to you. On the 11th of August, Venus will enter Leo in your 1st house, make you want to change your image and style to do a reinvention of your appearance and body. In health, you will still have the Sun in your 1st house, which is great for your vitality. You may also feel more like showing off and glowing in the outside world, feeling proud of your body and your appearance. On the same day, you will have the full moon in your 7th house of relationships. You might feel a sense of neediness for nurture, love, attention, and affection, but at the same time feel like you don't know how to ask for it and that your emotional needs are not being met as Saturn is conjuncting the moon. This might also be a period to be careful with sudden conflicts and fights that might come up, as this can cause unexpected abrupt consequences from breakups to accidents or any other issue. On the 20th, Mars enters into Gemini onto your 11th house of friendships, networks, hopes and wishes. You might find yourself connecting to many friends online and engaging in interesting conversations. On the 22nd, Sun will enter Virgo in the 2nd house, where you might feel a need to take a look at your health, habits, organization, productivity, especially in the areas of finances, money, resources, and well-being. Virgo rising. The triple conjunction will happen on your 9th house, so this might be causing you to redefine many of your beliefs and ideals and many of the truths. You might find yourself questioning your religion or spiritual beliefs or discovering a new deeper truth that you engage with suddenly and quickly and makes you feel it's for life. Or go back to university or find a mentor, a teacher that causes a tremendous change in your belief system, or to move to another country. You might suddenly want to move abroad. Legal cases are also possible in the 9th house, so pay attention to that. On the 1st of August, Mercury enters your 1st house, so you might find yourself having a thorough analysis of your body, wanting to go on diets, exercise, detox, cleansing, but also it can make you hypercritical of your physique, which you should avoid. When the Sun enters your 1st house later on the 22nd, it will be a great opportunity to get yourself into a daily routine of health, fitness, and check it all up. Also to organize your life, dates, paperwork, etc. On the 11th of August, Venus will enter your 12th house in Leo. You might feel like pursuing a deeper sense of spirituality, one that evokes unconditional love and surrender. Looking for things that are more sublime, maybe engaging in arts, listening to a piece of music, something that makes you feel more connected to the divine and letting go of the ego. The full moon will happen on your 6th house, so here you might feel a sense of paying more attention to your health, but also to humanitarian and animal causes. You might want to join a volunteering group of practicing, of healing, because you might feel a certain dryness in terms of emotions and the collective, prompting you to want to serve. However, this might not work out exactly as you imagine, as Saturn is squaring Uranus, which can make our attempts to structure and organize sometimes not work exactly as we planned. On the 20th, Mars enters Gemini on your 10th house, and you might feel more communicative in your career, to speak more, to communicate more, maybe teach a skill or be known for a skill you have. Build a small network of people to whom you give a message, either through a blog with visibility or similar. You could find yourself somehow doing a form of public speaking. Libra. If you are Libra, the triple conjunction is happening on your 8th house. This will bring a lot of psychological work to be done, as it can either bring you insights and deep understandings of your psychology and of others, or a sense of mental illness, of feeling too under pressure and overwhelmed. In either case, it's being asked that you transform and deal with your shadow side, as this will help you redefine your path in life, but also understand others more deeply. You may also find yourself dealing with things that involve banks, debt, taxes, death, money belonging to others, intimacy, and erotic life. On the 4th, Mercury moves into your 12th house, making you quite analytical of your spiritual life, your subconscious, in order to help you achieve a higher state of consciousness, perhaps to do some mental silence and introversion. On the 11th, Venus moves into your 11th house of friendships, of groups, of community, and you might feel like dressing up to get some appreciation from them or express yourself more through talents and projects you engage in. You will want to be the star of the group, to be the center of attention, and somehow that you are valued and recognized for your talents and glow. The full moon will happen on your 5th house. Here you can expect some intensity or even unpleasant events. If you are on holidays, as Saturn is there conjuncting the moon and squaring Uranus. You might somehow have an argument with your children, or an event that spoils the fun you are having, bringing in a more serious tone to the whole thing. You may also feel the same from romantic partners that don't nurture you or fulfill your needs, or ignore you. But you also may not be necessarily expressing the desire you have for that fulfillment. On the 20th of Mars moves into your 9th house in Gemini, where you might be more inquisitive about your life purpose, your ideals and deep beliefs, and try to find more information about it. Learn more, perhaps listening to lectures, or masters, or gurus, or teachers, or guides, reading books, or even decide for a higher degree for your education. Scorpio. The triple conjunction happens on your 7th house, so you might experience unexpected events on the area of relationships that redefine your path in life with that person, if you are in a relationship, or for yourself if relationship is an area where you are single. This can be positive and negative, from finding someone who feels destined to a sudden marriage and joining resources to a sudden breakup or conflict coming out of nowhere. On the 4th of August, Mercury enters Virgo on your 11th house, where you might be feeling like having more intellectual discussions with your groups, friends, or community. Also, perhaps structure your social life into your routine, balancing it so it blends on your day to day. On the 11th of August, Venus enters Leo in your 10th house. This might bring you a certain center stage or on your career, or you might be noticed, and if not for your work, perhaps then for your external image. Somehow you are meant to glow on your career. The full moon will be taking place in your 4th house of family. Since the moon is there, you might feel wanting some nurturing love and affection from your family, but somehow that they are not really giving you much love or attention as Saturn is conjunct the moon. This can cause a few conflicts. On the 20th, Mars moves into your 8th house of Gemini, where you might feel more curious about your psyche, your own shadow, and investigate more that side of yourself. Also your eroticism, intimacy, your subconscious, and other people. You might find yourself dealing with money from other people, debt, taxes, etc. The Sun moves into Virgo in your 11th house, so you might want to start a fitness program with friends, or do some diet together, or staying with friends' pets. Sagittarius. For you, the triple conjunction happens on the 6th house, so it is good to pay attention to your health in the next few months, to do regular checkups. Make sure you are eating well, but also feeling valuable to the world, to society, and others. Whether that is through helping others or having a pet that gives you love and attention, or through your work. It's good to have a daily routine with a daily schedule to pay attention to exercise and your body. On the 4th of August, Mercury moves into Virgo on your 10th house, which will bring a level of mental activity, reorganizing and restructure to your career. Paperwork, having your books in order, all the admin stuff will have the opportunity to get done, especially when the Sun enters Virgo on the 22nd of August. It's like a deep clean on your career area. Venus will enter Leo on the 11th in your 9th house. You might want to shine by showing your deep wisdom and knowledge of the world, life, and the universe. You might glow with epiphanies, words of wisdom, or even profound art and poetry that carries a profound philosophical meaning. You may also feel a desire for traveling somewhere spiritual, with a beautiful scenery and landscape. The full moon will take place on your 3rd house. Here you might find yourself very sensitive to the environment around you. So take care of your surroundings during the full moon, as you might be vulnerable to the energies and emotions of others around you. You might also find yourself seeking for affection and nurture, especially from siblings. On the 20th, Mars moves into your 7th house. So there might be some verbal exchanges with a romantic partner, or active conversations that might make an exciting intimate moment. A level of assertiveness or aggressiveness might also be noted when talking to others, or conflicts with enemies. Capricorn. If you are a Capricorn, the triple conjunction happens on the 5th house. The unexpected and some life-changing events can happen during your holidays, or with children, or even your romantic life with someone that is more on the early stages of a relationship. These events can be positive or negative, and they can also come from hobbies, sports, games. For example, if you gamble, you might make a great amount of money or lose a great amount of money. Accidents can happen during the holiday or unexpected fun adventures. Uranus is unpredictable, and the North Node is the direction we take in life. Whatever happens, those events will be memorable. On the 4th of August, Mercury will be going into Virgo on your 9th house. You might feel like meticulously organizing your foreign travels or high studies, university materials, or spiritual religious studies you engage in. Things like a routine, a discipline, etc. On the 11th of August, Venus will move into your 8th house, which can bring a lot of adventure in the bedroom, wanting to explore the mysterious and the esoteric, and do a journey into your psyche. On that day, the full moon will be happening on your second house, so you might feel intensity on your possessions, investments, stocks. As Saturn is squaring Uranus, you might have some unfortunate surprises on that level and acquire a very serious tone regarding your wealth, goods, money, and investments. On the 20th, Mars moves into your 6th house, and you might have changes in your employment, health. So it's good to stay informed, do checkups, but also take care with air travels. Aquarius. For you, the triple conjunction happens on your 4th house, so you might have unexpected events or surprises. in your home environment with your family that might be influencing you for the next few months. Things like births, deaths, moving homes, having an environmental disaster that affects where you live, or moving to a more technological house can be the sort of changes surrounding the themes of this house. You can also have things like floods, earthquakes in the country where you live currently or where you are from. On the 4th, Mercury moves into Virgo in your 8th house, giving you psychological insight and vision into your shadow and the shadow of others, but also the capacity to manage and organize other people's finances, books, taxes, debt, etc. When the Sun moves there on the 22nd of August, you might actually feel the need to make sure all is in order in those matters that might connect you to your husband and life and to your family. On the 11th of August, Venus enters Leo in your 7th house, so you might feel that it's time to give some attention to your romantic life, relationships, and either find love or spend time in artistic social activities with your romantic partner. The full moon will take place in your 1st house, so you might feel as wanting some attention and affection, but also not very expressive in communicating that to others. You also might feel emotionally overwhelmed and adopt a cold, detached attitude. On the 20th, Mars moves into your 5th house in Gemini, and you might feel more adventurous in romance and in the bedroom, or to chat a bit more or engage in fun, intellectual hobbies and activities or air sports. Pisces. The triple conjunction is happening on your 3rd house, so unexpected events might happen in your local area, neighborhood, or with your siblings. You might feel like creating ways of communication and information about resources, finances, or engage in capitalizing your skills. Start a commercial trade of good for good, like you give me eggs, I'll give you milk, in your local area. To teach things that help obtain resources, finances, or even change people's mindset and values. Mercury is moving into your 7th house of relationships on the 4th of August, so you might feel more analytical in your relationship, maybe even critical, criticizing a lot your partner for not meeting your romantic ideal, for example. The Sun will move there on the 22nd, so you will have an opportunity to maybe plan a routine with your partner together, where you can both exercise, go on a detox or diet together, to have a day-to-day that brings you closer. Venus will enter your 6th house on the 11th of August, so you might enjoy doing some house cleaning, putting your life in order, have discipline, a routine, finding productivity hacks, and looking after your health and fitness, the more mundane tasks. On the 11th as well, we will have the full moon on your 12th house. This might make you feel overwhelmed energetically, but also emotionally vulnerable and somewhat wanting nurture, but not quite feeling it. As Saturn is in your 12th house squaring Uranus, you might feel this tension in the environment around the public, heightened tension caused by this moon. And that's it, dear sinceres. I hope you have enjoyed these predictions for your month of August. If so, please press like below, subscribe to this channel so I can bring more videos to you. Unfortunately, I still have a day job, so it's not always possible for me to keep up and be regular in the videos that I bring you. But if you help me pressing that subscribe button, speaking to me about your friends, and making sure that you subscribe to my website, cynthiasincere.com, where you can also see the products and services that I offer, that would be a great help. I hope to see you next time. May the cosmos and the stars be with you.